Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive.
Glad to be here, and we've got a really great one today.
Make sure to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. So imagine holding the rarest, most coveted gold medal in your sport, right? Like the absolute pinnacle.
Yeah, the dream.
Exactly. But then secretly feeling like a total fraud every time you look at it.
Oh man, that is heavy.
Right. Today, we are diving into something that feels, honestly, like it belongs in a sports psychology masterclass. We're talking about Thomas du Toit.
Yeah, the 31-year-old Springbok. He's a tight head prop, and, well, he already has a 2019 Rugby World Cup winner's medal.
He does. But we recently read this great Planet Rugby article breaking down his interview on The Good, the Bad, and the Rugby podcast. And it turns out having the hardware and feeling like you actually earned it are, two totally different things.
Very different.
Okay, let's unpack this, because if you've ever worked tirelessly toward a goal, or maybe felt that creeping imposter syndrome even after you technically succeeded, you are really going to relate to this.
Absolutely. It's a deeply complex psychological landscape, especially when you consider his specific role.
The tight head prop, yeah.
Right? It's arguably the most punishing position in professional sports. I mean, you are the literal anchor of the scrum.
Which sounds terrifying, honestly.
It is. Your whole job is to withstand thousands of pounds of pressure, keep everything stable, and try to physically fold the opposition backwards.
So it's just pure, brutal force.
Pure force, pristine technique, and a staggering tolerance for pain. So when your position is defined by bearing the weight for everyone else, your self-worth is entirely tied to doing that heavy lifting.
But wait, doesn't a World Cup medal inherently mean he did the lifting? I mean, South Africa won the whole thing in Japan.
Well, yes and no.
Because he was called up as an injury replacement for Kavernayakane, right?
Yeah.
And he actually played in 2 matches against Namibia and Canada. He bled for the jersey, so why is he being so harsh on himself?
What's fascinating here is the distinction between, extrinsic recognition and intrinsic equity in a locker room.
Extrinsic, meaning the record books say he's a champion.
Exactly. Extrinsically, he's got the medal. But intrinsically, elite athletes deal in this unspoken currency of earned equity.
Ah, I see.
Du Toit played in the pool stages against Namibia and Canada. And for a powerhouse like the Springboks, those are developmental or rotational matches.
Right. They aren't the high-stakes knockout rounds.
Exactly. He didn't play the brutal matches against Japan, Wales, or England. And in a squad famous for the bomb squad, missing those defining battles leaves a massive psychological void.
It's totally like getting an A on a massive group project when you were out sick for most of the semester.
That is a perfect analogy. Yeah.
Like, sure, you got the grade, but did you really do the work? You just want to prove it to yourself.
Right. He didn't just want to be on the roster. He wanted to be the indispensable engine. He wanted to be the reason they won, not just the guy called in midway through.
Which makes sense. So looking at this structurally, the tight head prop is the load-bearing pillar of the bridge. In 2019, that bridge was already built.
Yeah, he was just structural support. He didn't lay the foundation.
But now, 8 years after his test debut, and after missing the 2023 World Cup, he's finally established as the starting tight head. But his immediate obsession isn't the Springboks at all, is it?
No, it's counterintuitive, but his obsession right now is entirely domestic.
He's playing for Bath in the English Premiership, right?
He is, and his mindset there is a massive evolution. A lot of athletes might treat a club team as a stepping stone or, just stay fit for international duty.
Just going through the motions.
Exactly. But he stated his biggest fear right now is missing a single moment with Bath.
Before we get into why that is, if you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. Okay, so help us understand this choice. Why the English Premiership?
Well, it's a massive pressure cooker. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, we have to look at how Rassie Erasmus evaluates talent.
The mastermind behind the Springboks.
The very same. Erasmus, he doesn't care about your reputation. And he definitely doesn't care about a medal from 2019.
He cares about right now.
Exactly. He selects based on executing under match-defining pressure in the present. And the Premiership right now is incredibly tight.
So Bath is trying to finish first or second for a home semifinal, right?
Yes. So every scrum penalty he wins in the 78th minute on rainy Friday night, every breakdown he clears, it's a direct signal to the Springboks coaches.
Here's where it gets really interesting. He's using Bath to prove his worth, but he isn't cheating the present moment. He has this massive goal for the 2027 World Cup in Australia, but he treats his club with absolute reverence.
Yeah, he refuses to look past the current weekend. He wants to win the Premiership, not just survive it.
Which takes intense compartmentalization.
It really does. To cure that unfinished business from 2019, he knows he can't take shortcuts. If you took a helicopter to the summit the first time, you have to climb the sheer cliff face the next time to silence that inner critic.
Wow, yeah. And dominating the Premiership is the first section of that cliff face.
Exactly. He's putting his body through hell because he knows true merit isn't granted. You extract it from the opposition, scrum by scrum.
But peaking for a club in England doesn't solve his geographic problem with the South African selectors, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Ah,
Which brings us to the next phase.
right, because at the end of this season, he's leaving Bath. He's heading back to South Africa to join the Sharks. Now, the sources say this is purely for family reasons, which makes sense for a 31-year-old athlete.
It does, and this raises an important question about how elite athletes navigate their physical primes. The toll of the front row mounts exponentially at 31.
So he wants personal stability.
Yeah, bringing his family home to South Africa is huge, but strategically, it does something critical for his 2027 ambitions. It forces Rassie Erasmus to watch him every single weekend.
Because he's stepping into the United Rugby Championship and the Champions Cup.
Oh, absolutely.
And for anyone not deeply embedded in European club structures, you aren't just playing local rivals in those tournaments. You are facing the absolute heaviest, most brutal forward packs from Ireland, Wales, Scotland, France.
Yeah, you're going up against Leinster, against Toulouse. It is a grueling gauntlet.
So by moving to the Sharks, he is placing himself on the most scrutinized stage in South African rugby. Let me ask you guys listening, what do you think about Du Toit's move to the Sharks? And do you believe he'll secure that 2027 spot on pure merit? Drop your comments and opinions below. We love seeing how you interpret these career-defining moves.
I mean, the competition for a Springboks jersey is arguably the fiercest in world rugby.
South Africa produces front-row forwards like it's a factory.
Literally. There's always a 22-year-old, 280-pound prospect gunning for your spot. Holding them off takes a maniacal level of dedication.
So everything he's doing investing in Bath, moving to the Sharks, it's all about building an undeniable portfolio for the next 3 years.
Precisely. He's eliminating every excuse the selectors might have. If he anchors that Shark scrum right in Rassie's backyard, he forces their hand. He isn't waiting for an injury call-up. He's dictating his own selection.
So what does this all mean? We started with a player who achieved the ultimate dream in 2019, but felt like a passenger.
A feeling that clearly ignited a relentless drive instead of breaking him.
Right. We saw how a tight head prop proves his worth through the grueling mechanics of the English Premiership. And finally, his move to the Sharks, prioritizing family while putting himself right in the Springboks' crosshairs.
He's making sure that when 2027 kicks off, he isn't a replacement part. He's the foundation.
It's incredible.
It really challenges our cultural assumptions about success.
Yeah.
Yeah, we glorify the hardware. We act like the medal is the finish line.
But he already has the medal.
Exactly. He has the ultimate prize, but his motivation is to put his body through absolute agony to earn it again. It suggests true victory isn't the object on your shelf. It's that visceral internal knowledge that you are the architect of your own triumph.
Man, when an athlete realizes the highest currency isn't the gold around their neck, but the feeling of belonging at the summit, it completely redefines winning.
It really does. It's a fascinating mindset.
It truly is. Be sure to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.